Welcome back to Undercurrent. The rapid growth of digital technology doesn't mean that books are extinct just yet. In fact, Perth City Library has celebrated over 1 million visitors. Celeste has more.
In the last few weeks, the City of Perth Library has reached a very special milestone. It welcomed its 1 millionth visitor since reopening in March 2016, which proves it's not only a place of fabulous literature, award-winning architecture, but so much more. So we decided to take a look. And here joining us is Cheryl Parrot, the manager of the City of Perth Library. Cheryl, thank you for being here with us today. Can you give us a little bit of the City of Perth Library's history?
Certainly. The library's history dates back to the early Swan River colony, where it started life as the Swan River Mechanics Institute. So it's grown from there, from very meagre beginnings. It became, at the turn of the 19th century, it became the Perth Literary Institute and was located down on the corner of Pier and Hay Street. And then in the mid-1950s, when free public libraries were introduced to Western Australia, the City of Perth took over the running of the library, and in the early 60s it moved into the lower ground floor of Council House. So it operated there from the early 60s through to 1994, when it was moved out when they were refurbishing Council House, and was located in the lower ground floor of the Lord Chambers building. And the Lord Chambers building was the building that was on this site previously to the new library building. So it was hidden away in the lower ground floor of the Lord Chambers building right through to the early 2012, when the library was relocated to 140 William Street, and it was there for 4 years while the Lord Chambers building was demolished and this fabulous new building was built.
Could you tell us a little bit about what are some of the fun intricacies of the library? For example, that focal point that you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, the tree is a very exciting feature of the building. It's commonly known as the Tree of Knowledge, and it was something that the architect Kerry Hill was very passionate about including in the library, and it was quite a big undertaking, craning the Benjamin ficus in. If you come here during story time and rhyme time, yeah, I think it's noisy everywhere. But there's a lot of happy families, and our numbers for story time and rhyme time have increased significantly. We have 2 rhyme time sessions and 2 story time sessions a week, and they get very well attended.
The Perth Library is really a community library, and so to have 1 million people come through the doors in just over 2 years is absolutely fantastic. It really showcases how important this library is to the residents, our ratepayers, but also our people that come into the city every day to work, and also our visitors to the city. It's just such a great community space for everybody.
Can you tell us about a few of the events that are coming through in the next couple of months?
We regularly have author talks. We don't always hold them within the library. Sometimes we get such a big response that we will partner with other organisations, particularly UWA. We have a Cosmos series coming up in October. We've just been having a few workshops on sustainability. In September, although it won't be in the library, we have Germaine Greer coming, who will be at the Octagon Theatre, so we're partnering with UWA and Boffins to present that.
From a day-to-day operational point and perspective, what does it take to have 1 million visitors in a span of 24 months?
Look, it's just having good processes and procedures. So we've got a really fantastic team. We're open 7 days a week. We operate over 7 floors. So there's a lot of challenges with communication and just ensuring we have the right level of customer service.
Libraries are a community hub first and foremost. They're a safe space for people to come. They're a welcoming place for everybody, no matter what your gender, your nationality, whatever it might be, your interest. It's a place that everybody is welcome, and I think that's what makes, firstly, a community library so different, but also our capital city library. Really what I want to see is that this becomes an even more stronger community space. So, people are ageing in place. We've got such different demographics here in the city.
As Hemingway once said, There is no friend as loyal as a book. This is Celeste reporting to you for Undercurrent.
This week in Perth, the dark comedy play A Butler Did It was performed at Heathcote Theatre. Tony ETC was there to talk to the cast and crew.
Hello everybody, we are here at the Modicum Theatre, Perth, Western Australia, and we are dissecting the play titled A Butler Did It. It's a dark comedy farce written by the British playwright Robert Scott, directed by Steph Ferguson. The director, an assistant director, and 11 cast members bring A Butler Did It to life with energetic performances, physical comedy, and a few silly accents. The production crew aim to support the action on stage with complementary lighting and sound designs that aim to let the script and the actors speak for themselves. A Butler Did It is performed at the Heathcote Cultural Precinct in Applecross. Sit back and let's enjoy. We are talking to the director and the producer of A Butler Did It.
Have been doing theatre stuff since I was a teenager and then followed that to Whopper. I'm in the process of doing training there, so this is kind of a way of getting some practical experience on the side of my education and kind of making the projects that I want to do.
And how about you, Sarah?
Modicum theatre is kind of like my hobby, so try to put together as good a little shows as we can. We have a lot of people here who are trying to do theatre as like a career so they can get experience, and then there's other people like me who are just here to have fun and kind of put on good shows, so we have a good mix.
Okay, Steph, can you tell us where the inspiration came about by directing this wonderful masterpiece?
Kind of loved the visual aspect of the show. It's set in Grandma's house, and when we had access to this building, which is just amazing and filled with so much history, it just fits so well.
This is Laura and Ryan.
I've had an interest in theatre since I was about 13, where I started getting involved in the theatre at my high school. And as soon as I saw the way that the people behind the scenes, the technical part of the theatre, lights and sound, how that works and the magic it can create, I absolutely fell in love with it, and I've never really looked back.
How about you, Ryan?
Very similar. I grew up with the theatre. I was born in England, so I went to watch a lot of local theatre there, pantomimes and such. And when I moved out here, I wanted to really get into acting and the technical side. So I've been acting since about 13, and I've been doing tech stuff since about 18. So I've been doing it about 7-ish years. And I'm acting and doing the sound for this. So
We have just spoken to the director, the producer, the sound engineer, and the lighting right here, Western Australia.
Oh, okay, cool. Hi, I'm Sean Sisler. I act around in the Perth area, like mostly like local stuff. I spent a lot of time at Murdoch University, and I got into playwriting a couple of years ago, so I'm also an amateur playwright as well, and I've done a lot of stuff with Modicum.
I'm Andrea Kendrick, and I've been doing theatre pretty much since I was 8 years old. I studied theatre at Murdoch University, and I am currently on Modicum committee and enjoying working with Modicum.
And I'm Alana, and I study music at UWA and classically trained musician. Recently got into the acting thing, but I'm having a great time doing all the comedy theatre.
I play Andrew Butler, the eldest Butler brother. How's he described in the script? The famous actor Andrew Butler, star of stage and screen. Andrew is a very good actor, but he's not a very good person.
So I'm Aaron O'Neill, and I'm playing Jasper King Jr. in this show, who is essentially the butler by occupation to the character that the main characters are all going to the funeral of their aunt. He's very, very old. He's very, very slow and a bit snippy.
Well, actually, I'm Jonathan Maddocks, and I'm the assistant director of this show underneath Steph. Usually an actor, but a few months before this show actually started production, Steph approached me and said that she wanted me to assistant direct. She thought it would actually really help my acting ability, which is a good point because I've done a lot of things on stage, but I haven't really experienced it behind the stage, so to speak. So with this new knowledge that I have, it'll make my acting ability much better, and I have actually learnt a lot about the production side of acting.
oversized personalities, which I think has been a lot of fun for the actors to play with as well. Everything about this play is just turned up to 150%.
And we have come to the conclusion of another episode of Undercurrent. I am Tony ETC.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Undercurrent. To see all the latest episodes, download the WTV Your View app and watch it anytime, anywhere. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. This has been Laura. Enjoy the rest of your evening.